Okay, so I feel like things are just getting weirder and weirder. On TikTok, it definitely is. Um, like I've seen so many more people now speaking out about what they believe is going on, like beyond just what's going on with the government stuff. Way more people now talking about reptilians and the tunnels and the realities around us, the waters around us, the firmament. So many people talking about so much different stuff. I just heard this one girl, and she had just said she saw some sort of crafts when she was driving out in the country to head home from work in the middle of the night. And she was too scared to stop and get footage or whatever. But so she went on this long thing about the firmament and then the ice wall and General Bird. And but so this is the thing that always kind of where I hit a wall with so much stuff that people say, because it still seems like it's also three-dimensional theory to me. Because she was saying that it was a whole long thing. I don't think I can repeat it all. I have so many different things that people have said that I wanted to try and say, but I feel so out of it. Yesterday I was sitting here and time just was moving so weird, and it is so disjointed, and it literally feels like I don't even know how to explain it, but I've heard other people on TikTok saying it. So I'm not the only one who's feeling this kind of like you're sitting here and then all of a sudden you're in a different reality, then you're in a different one, then this is happening, then all of a sudden you're here, there. It's like weird. And it's not like I'm leaving my house physically. So I don't know. There's weird shit going on. That's all I know. But so when she was talking about, she was saying, so the tunnels are like portals, kind of, so that they can go from reality to reality, because it is how you can move to get to different ones or something, which I'm sure it does have something to do with it. And I think the more that we get this idea that planets are, other balls out in space and we're a ball out in space, that when we just start realizing it's all just different land masses in dimension and realities and experiences. So she was saying that something about they're trying to get out of the firmament, which I believe that they're trying to get out of the firmament, and that you can't leave your space unless your vibration is high enough. But the thing that gets me, like I believe that you can't leave your space unless your vibration allows it. But she was talking about it being monitored by angels. So angels are around us on the ice wall, like policing us, not allowing us, like we have to go up, and if our vibration's high enough, we can pass through. And if it's not, then we can't. But see, that is where, to me, it goes three-dimensional, because you have to put like characters involved, and you have to make up a little story and stuff, because, like, I don't even know. So if we have the firmament, we have these low vibration people. We're all pretty low vibration here, because they do something with the frequency. They don't let you go up in vibration. I don't even know how you could go beyond the vibration. It's so fucking loud, and it's so intense, and it's doing something inside of my body. Like I can hear it come busting into my ear, and then I'll feel it like a stab go down straight like that, down into another part, and then all of a sudden another part of my body will feel like a shock or something. Like they're doing something. And, some people have awareness of it and some people don't. But I'm telling you, where I'm at, there's something being done in this, not being able to like remove sickness or remove low vibration off of you and stuff, even when you're trying to. It's I don't know. I think it's nuts, but I think that they're doing it on purpose with this, with multiple things. Because if you poison people and you give them a bunch of toxins and chemicals, and you have their bodies fighting all this illness, and you keep dropping illness, and you deplete their immunity, you keep dropping illness, then your body is in distress. It's even if you feel like, oh, I'm going to where I'm feeling fine, your body is in constant distress. So your body's constantly fighting this stuff, even if, I mean, for some people, they could just feel tired. For some people, they could be completely oblivious. They're thinking about what happened last night with Joe Blow. Everybody has got their own focus, what they pay attention to. So not everybody is paying attention to their body and how it's feeling and the sickness that is, spiraling through us all. So I think that they take the toxins and the chemicals, they put them into everything, our water, and how much people I've seen now sharing where the government has come out and said, I guess I think it's Agenda 21, because 2030 is a big one. Go in and read that stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's Agenda 21. And I can't even remember. It's the same. It's just the same stuff, like where they say they're going to do something to us. I can't remember all the specifics. But anyways, it's very interesting. You can go in and read that stuff, because everything that they have said 20, 40, 60 years ago that they were going to do, they're doing it. Like, they're actively doing all of this stuff. So if they are, and it says like they're going to put poison in the water, they're going to put poison in the air, they're going to put poison in our food, all of that stuff. They come out and tell us. You just have to go in and read the different things. Just people don't know. Who would really suspect that? Like the people who are paying you, you're just going to kill them all off. But it's all about control. It isn't even about, I mean, they've got all of the stuff they want. They don't have to worry or want for anything except for something to make them feel. But they don't have empathy or compassion. So they're always feeling power, and like they go in to get feelings by hurting people, children, whoever they can hurt. That's what gives them their charge to know that they're alive, because they don't have compassion or empathy. If they had compassion and empathy, none of this stuff would be going on. We would already be in the age of Aquarius. This is this experience to understand for the different souls. And it seems horrible and treacherous and stuff like that, but these experiences for souls, then that it elevates you. So it's not like you just you die and then you come back and you have no clue and you go right. Like, we have been doing that, going back into this treachery and stuff. But once that program ends, this part of the game, this movie or this segment or whatever you want to think of it as, then once we level up, then you don't go back. It's so weird because you say all that stuff, because like I already know I've leveled up before. I already know I've come back. I'm come back to do this, to help other people. And like I don't understand all of the whole thing about, because I know that when you I mean, your energy, you live forever. Like, you're always looking for something to do, right? So you would come back to help other people get themselves out of this this experience they're going through. So if you think about like all these different realities, if you want to think of them all under their own firmaments or whatever, however you want to think of it, just tons of different realities. And this reality in particular is kind of like a trap or something, it seems like to me. And I wonder even if they're just trying to kill people off to try and get them to just trap back in, just like, with the ship thing where I was saying yesterday, is like, oh, they go tell them all they have to get on this ship and then take them out in space, say, oh, there was a cataclysm, there's no, it's like the exact same thing from that movie. or that series. It's like the same thing. So it's weird. It really, to me, it seems like you don't give your power over to any other entity. And it seems that like if I talk about free energy, if I talk about energy that's just out there, it's around us. We've got energy around us. And it's not, you have some conscious energy around you, but a lot of energy doesn't have that consciousness of choice in making decisions. It's looking for what feels good. So that's why it attaches to you. If you're putting out a vibration that feels good to them, then they attach. And that's why if you're putting out a low vibration, you get bogged down by all this dark, heavy energy. And you can start feeling sick. You have a lot of negative overthoughts, or whatever you want to call them, where they're just constantly giving you this negative information. So you're fighting and filtering that when you, I mean, a lot of people just think, oh, it's my thoughts. Well, you have a lot of negative self-talk happening, then you are having to battle that, and it is depleting. So of course that's going to lower your vibration. The chemicals, the toxins, the everything that is in our stuff, and then on top of it, so they deplete your immune system, they fill you full of toxins and chemicals and sickness and disease. Then they turn up the frequency to this microwave current that keeps you sicker. It's like penetrates us. And you know what I was thinking, even because there's certain rooms in my house where it's so freaking loud. The I really feel, I know that this stuff is affecting me. I just really feel so scrambled, like my brain feels so scrambled, and so sick, but not like sick, like even though yesterday I couldn't stop coughing and sneezing, and then you get all the congestion because all of the toxins that they put out there. But these weird pain things all over me, like these weird stabs and stuff. That is like yesterday I was just sitting here and it kept happening and happening. And I thought, well, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what it is. I'm just, going to sit here and feel all of these things, and then I'll just get up and get out of my body. I don't know. Because I don't feel like that's my mission. I feel like my mission has something to do with what comes next. It doesn't have to do so much with what is happening, other than trying to awaken people, to get them to come to a conscious state of being, and to pay attention for themselves, and to understand what this world is. I know that is part of it, but I feel like that the bigger part is what's to come next, about helping people heal and stuff, because we don't even have all of the people on the same page yet. We still got such scatter in how people are seeing things and looking at things. There's still so much panic. There's still so much division. And people don't even listen and hear what other people are saying. Like, I saw this guy today, and he's an Aussie guy, and he's super, super skinny. Like, if you just looked at him, you'd think oh, this guy's got cancer. I mean, super just that. There's just a certain look, they get very gray, very drawn in. Everything just gets, they just look sick. Like, their body is quite clear they're fighting something. And he looked like that. And he was talking about how he was disgusted about this pure blood stuff that people keep saying is causing division. And, we got to stop. There is not a pure blood on this planet unless you are a brown person. Then, and it has something to do with the melanin. See that, and other people say this stuff, but they don't say. I mean, everybody just says it in different ways. But so he was saying the melanin, that there is something about that. There's something about that in this whole space continuum that we exist in right now. That why they do this whole, trying to whitewash us, and it has something to do with taking out the conductor, I think, for our soul, in something with iron or something in our blood. I'm not sure about it all. Like, I just, I can see things and I can understand things, and then I hear people talk about them as well. So I know I'm not the only one who is seeing and hearing it or whatever. So this, 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 the he was saying, that he was saying what his mix was, like I'm French, English, whatever he was saying. So I'm a whole bunch of different people. We're all different. We're all huge mixes of different people, which I would say probably, there's still a lot of black people that have some mix in their blood, but like I had said a long time ago, it has this push to mix us all up. This is a push. This is an agenda. And I think it has to do with the whitewashing and Planned Parenthood. Like, it's that, well, let's go in the back door and get rid of these people instead of, coming at them full force, because they've been doing everything they can, creating ghettos and crime and gangs and drugs and all of that stuff, that they've been doing to wipe these people out. And then I think that's part of the agenda, because a lot of these people stay in their own, what do you want to call it? Their own racial, cultured, they like to stay in their own cultures. People don't want to just run around mixing cultures. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was thinking, I was watching something, and every freaking, they just kept, my daughter told me to watch this show. And it seems like this, I don't know, cutesy coming of age kind of show. One that I would have liked before I was awakened, But now all I do is see, just see too much stuff. And so this had all of these different people, these different nationalities and stuff all mixed. And I was like, there is a lot of people who don't want to do that. Like, they don't want to have their culture absorbed into a white person's world and lose all of who they are. People have their own ways that they were raised and how things were. Even if their family is integrated into another place, they have certain culture things that they continue. Even if you're living in a different place, that doesn't mean you change your whole existence to be a part of that place. But there is so many people who are, a second, I got lost for a second. Man, I fell out of it. So if the people, like a Jewish person, they don't want to just go marry some Catholic person and then lose their Jewish culture. Even if there's some who are younger who weren't religious and stuff, there's still certain cultural things that people don't want to lose. And I think that a lot of black people and brown people, and I think all these people have kind of stayed in their own groups for a really long time, and they are now trying to get everybody to mix up. But I think there's an agenda behind it, because I think why can't you just let people be? I mean, if people go and fall in love with somebody from a different thing, that's their business. But to push it as an agenda, to try and force it, there's a reason to it, and there's no reason for it. I mean, everybody should just be able to live their own life. There should be none of this where we have to give up who we are. And it's just as always pushing for it. And then, the way people look at things and see, like, there's angels. We got angels around us, guarding us. We can't move freely. With your vibration, which all of us have low vibration right now, I think. But if your vibration was high enough, could you just move through the, the containment that we are controlled by? You'd walk up and be like, oh, okay, you're a high enough vibration. You can just go on and go out into the next realm or whatever, like going through a video game, and then you get to the next level, and all of the people who developed the game come walking up, and okay, we got to check, make sure you got through it, but we got to check your scores. We don't know if you can elevate, You know what I mean? I just thought that just is a way that your brain is not accepting the supernatural. It's still trying to make sense of it in a natural state of being with characters playing roles and stuff like that, is how I hear it. So I don't know. There's so much agenda all the freaking time going on with everything. And so many people just keep playing the parts and keep going on. And I guess now there's another 10,000 cows. And I guess there was an episode of Yellowstone. I saw a girl talking about Yellowstone episode. I think it was season 2, episode 4 or something, she said. And they showed exactly how to do that with the cows and the drones. And they just go in and spray, and then everything goes, and that's it. And that's what they obviously did. I mean, I don't even know how there's people who question that. Like, who try and think like, oh, it has something to do with the temperature, it has something to do with this, it has something to do with that. No, it has to do with poison. I saw a guy yesterday, he was out fishing on a river. So he's just out there by himself in a little boat fishing. And then he picks up his phone and starts doing footage of a helicopter that is over it looked like a lake, not a river, but it was over where he was fishing, because they got to destroy everything that we can consume. And it was spraying it. He was showing it. And it was a helicopter. It was spraying it just like, they have some kind of a big bar, it looks like, that comes out. And then it shoots it like a sprinkler. So it was just shooting out all on the water. So all that poison to destroy our drinking water if it came down to it. And to destroy the fish that are in there. And I saw, when I was out driving last week, and I was crossing, I kept seeing all these huge rivers. And it's been raining so much here that the rivers are pounding. And plus they keep snowing and snowing and snowing. So we haven't even gotten all the melt down yet. There's so much snow still. And the rivers were huge, just rushing so hard. Like, ugh, this could take out some houses if this broke loose. So, but there was so many. And I was thinking about, like, it made me think about the Indians and stuff, and how, you know, the nomadic ones, or even any people throughout our history that are near history, would find water, like lakes and rivers and stuff. I think especially rivers, because the movement keeps the water more fresh. So because lakes can become stagnant and, you know, kind of like a big toilet bowl, but rivers are running and moving, and I think kind of cleaning themselves. I'm not really sure, but when they're spraying poison on them, then that interferes. And so I was watching them spray everything. And so I was thinking, you know, that's all getting in the water. That's all why they've made it where we can't fish in rivers. Like, every river, every place I've lived in Washington has rivers all over the place. And you're not allowed to fish in them because the fish are poison. Well, people still go and fish in them and probably still eat it, because we're eating poison all the time anyways. But, and, you know, you're not supposed to drink the rainwater. Well, it's because it's full of poison. And now they have said again, I saw someone release it again, because when I had done that little video, I said something like, oh, I do this illegal practice of collecting rainwater. And a lot of people, like, it's illegal? What are you talking about? And people went and looked it up and sent me information about Washington state laws and stuff like that. And I have heard from different people, you know, like, some people will be like, oh, it's illegal, you can't do that. And so I don't know. All I know is that now they are saying, I saw papers again that they are saying they're going to make it where you can't be collecting the rainwater. You can get eggs from people. You can't fish. You can't, I mean, they're trying to literally, it is so crazy, because they're literally trying to make it, well, and then plus this credit score thing. I saw a whole long thing about that. So, you know, I won't be able to get food because I've already been doing this. That already takes me down to probably camp. Like, I would be herded into a camp if I was compliant and did what they told me to do, because I have to be what did they call it? Like reassigned thoughts or something. Like they have to retrain my brain because I'm against them. So I have to go to a camp or whatever. So I'm sure it's kind of like what are those ones called back in the 40s when they were all so skinny and starving? Yeah, I'm sure it's kind of like that. I'm sure it's not like a bed and breakfast. But, you'd have to be compliant and say, okay, I'll go be retrained. I'll be like, fuck off. Come on my property. Then, I mean, this is, you're going to go to the furthest you're going to go. This is it, I think, This is where you have to say, okay, I'm going to comply. I'm going to do what you say. No matter how many rules or what you tell me to do, I'm going to keep doing it because I'm desperate to stay alive in your world. I don't feel that. I feel like, bye. See ya. You wanna kill me because I don't believe what you believe, or whatever. I believe I have human rights. Then so be it. Because I know as soon as they shoot me, stab me, whatever they would do, I would just walk right out of this body. I mean, they're just hurting this body, just like they're just hurting the trees and stuff. But everything is an illusion. Everything is a hologram. So they're not really hurting everything or anything, but because we have emotional pain, and then it feels like everything is being hurt. It feels like people are dying. It feels like all of this stuff is happening. The neighbor girl, she did come back from the hospital now, so she's at home on treatments and medicine. So, I don't know. Everybody, I'm just so sick of everything. I am really, really just, every day how it just goes. Another day. Like, man. I just don't know how this just keeps going and going and going. And now we're back to Putin is gonna nuke us or something. And I heard somebody saying that the reason why nothing is happening, they keep dragging it out, because they're just waiting, because we just get weaker and weaker. We're giving away our money. We're giving away our weapons and all this stuff. Like, well, I don't completely align with that, because I think that they're going to, I think that they're gonna, I think that they're trying to create fear, trying to deplete us of our energy and take our energy from us so that we are just easier targets. Because that's all they want, is it to be kind of easy. There's so many of us, But that's not what's going to happen. I mean, more and more people are going to just keep waking up, and the outrage and is going to, they're going to lose. However this is going to go down, they're not going to win. They're going to lose. But it's kind of funny, too, because I feel like, like for some of us, we got really into detective shows, and they even started pushing it so much, like death porn or murder porn, I think. And they started doing tons and tons and tons of shows about it, where, it started to be kind of weird that so many people were watching murder shows. Like, we were all intrigued by murder shows. And I don't know every single person's own reason why they watched them, but I always found it interesting to watch them solve cases, and like the detective part of looking at what you're looking at and how do you solve the case and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people watched it for that reason, not just because they want to watch people be murdered, but they want to watch crimes be solved. They want to watch justice be had. So I think that all of those shows, even though they were, bombarding us with them, I think it really taught people to how to solve crimes. Like, Like, we are able to look at things now and think of it like that. Look at it and decipher it. Look at the evidence. Where's the evidence? And you know what I'm saying? I can't even. I'm having a worse time with my words than normal. Oh, my face is itchy. Everything is so. My nose never stops running, and my eyes just get worse and worse. It's just like, man, something's got to give. Like, we are not going to just live years and years like this. It's not going to just keep going and going to the point of us starving. Like, I don't know what has to happen. Something's going to happen. I know everything that is being pulled away from us is because we need to be able to do it for ourselves. We should have never been relying on corporations to feed us. They are so unethical. They have the most disgusting practices, and it's always profit before people, profit before life. They don't give a shit about anything but their own selves, and they're all artificial. It's all bullshit, but they don't give a fuck about real people living real lives. And what was I gonna say? Man, I am so scattered. And I just know it is something with what they're doing. I just wish, I really just wish they'd hurry up and just do it. Like, if you're going to fry my brain, hurry up and just fry it so I can get the fuck out of this body. Like, let me go out of here. And then it's just so crazy because I just really don't think that I'm going anywhere, anytime soon. And it's like, oh my God. Like, I feel so certain, like, this has to end. The spraying and stuff, like the white sky, the breathing in chemicals, the drinking chemicals, the eating chemicals. Like, there has to be something that is going to be going the other direction. Like, I know with the food, like, I completely get, like, they're gonna, this huge drama about the food, and then people are gonna have to learn to grow for themselves. I just saw a woman, though, who had obviously been farming for herself for quite a few years. She said she had been in Washington State for 9 years, and that this is the first time she's ever seen anything like this. And she was walking around her garden, and it was huge. She's got fruit trees and stuff, but everything is dead. And she was saying that she thinks it's the water. She didn't even get fruit on her trees. But I think it's the mix of the water, the chemicals, because even like whatever, some of those chemicals, I still can't get that off my car. Whatever that, it looked like a greenish kind of powder that day. And I knew it wasn't pollen because it just didn't make any sense. Like, it didn't make sense for the time. It didn't make sense. Nothing made sense for it to be pollen. So I'm not going to just be like, because, I mean, we do have to be like detectives. We do have to look at evidence and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, and listen to your internal gut. But so when I, was washing the cars off and stuff, and I used the hose, it literally turned it into like a water activated and made it this hard coating. And it still has these like pockety looking things, but you can feel it. It doesn't feel like paint anymore. It feels like some sort of weird texture. It looks weird, and I can't get it off. So, and that's going inside of us. Like, that is what's going on our plants. Right now, my plants are still a lot, like, I have potatoes. She said she thought that the potatoes were getting too much something. I think too much rain or something. So I'm going to move mine in under another place and see if I can keep them going. I'm just going to keep trying to keep everything going. But I still have a lot of, I'm going to go to the food bank on Tuesday too and grab some more bags of rice and beans and tomatoes, because tomatoes, you can put them as a base for your beans or soup. Somebody grab some more cans of tomatoes, even though their tomatoes are probably toxic as fuck. I mean, but I'm going to get some more of those and stuff. And I saw a thing yesterday, and I think I've said this a lot of times about during Depression, how people lived off flour and water, and that we can do it again. Like, We don't have to fully panic over everything. But he was showing during I think it was 1840s, that they had a shortage in wheat, and everybody lived off bread. He said that's what people lived off back then, was bread and beer. So another time in history where people lived off bread. And so he said that because of the wheat shortage, they had to come up with other ways to expand their how much flour they had. So he said that his recipe was for potato bread, and so he showed how to do it. But you can also, I think it was a turnip. He showed a lot of different things you can use to make your bread go further like that. So he did like 2 potatoes, and then you boil them, and then you just turn them into mush, and then you add 2 cups of flour, and then a little bit of water, sugar, and yeast, and then you do the same thing, let it rise. And but all of those things, like I've got a couple of things of flour, a lot of beans and rice. Like I know I could get through a couple of months, and and then still sharing, like if it comes down to it, and all those mushrooms, like I have been picking those mushrooms, and I've been drying them out, and all I've done is I've washed them really good, and then I laid out some paper towels, and then I laid them all out on the paper towels, and they start drying, and they like they dehydrate themselves, kind of like I don't have to do anything. And I'm gonna get the rest of them out there. But I've had, several people, oh, that's dangerous, and, you're going to kill yourself. Don't start eating mushrooms. Well, I'm not going out and just picking things and eating them out. It's like I'm picking them so I can go in and do research, and it even freaks me out picking them because I've heard of certain things that you can pick and it gets an enzyme on your hand and kills you. And I'm just to the point of like, whatever takes me out at this point takes me out. I'm not fucking... and I did taste one of them, but it was after I did a bunch of research and got to the point where, okay, I could take a bite of this. And it tasted exactly like what the guy said that it would taste like. And they're drying up just like what the guy said. But then yesterday, I had a couple of people send me these other ones that look like these ones, only they're magic mushrooms and they grow wild like that. Which, as long as they're not poison, it doesn't matter because the earth is giving something. So even if they were giving me magic ones, I would assume that nature, because I completely believe we are a part of nature. And that when we get in sync with nature, that nature is working in sync with us. And that is why when we really stop focusing on the 3D stuff, which is hard because, they've got a hold of our avatars with sickness and stuff. But when you focus your, what was I fucking talking about? Oh my God. So, okay, so when nature, when you're in sync with it and it gives you what you need. So I would think no matter if those would be considered magic or whatever they are, I've definitely not found anything that says that they are poisonous or toxic. And both of them had good results. But even if, they were magic ones that grew out there, then I would think, because I've been putting it so much out there about healing my eyes and my brain and stuff like that. So I would think that those would be something that would do that. Like if microdosing on the ones out there, even if they're magic, microdosing would do something to heal something inside of my body. So to me, if it was magic, it would just be, then you need to take less of it. Like you wouldn't make a soup and put a whole bunch of them in, but you would eat 1 or 2 of them a day as like you would any kind of medicine, so that it would heal other things inside of you. And when I got a brain injury, this was a really long time ago, because it was when I very first had it. Well, not right in the very first. I think it was like more like 4 years in. So I was still struggling a lot. Like it took a lot of years of it's a lot to have something happen in your life to I don't know. I know I was still struggling, but so this guy came and he was doing these floors, which I think my husband had a crush on him. It was just the most strangest, the whole thing was so strange. But, you know, I think that husband just had a real problem of being his true self. Like, you know what I mean? I think he just couldn't. Oh, there was a lot of things. I'm just so, I just, when you look back on some things, it's like, why? Why would I be in that situation? Like, what in me was needing to learn something from that? But there was a lot of stuff. But anyway, so this guy, he was some sort of a, I don't know, a herbalist or something. I don't even remember that much about him. I remember he was a very good looking guy. Like, I could see why my husband had a crush on him. Like, he was a real good looking guy, really nice, really personable, really artistic. He was really cool. So he was telling me, I think he gave me some samples or something, but he was talking about all these different kinds of mushrooms and mushroom tea and mushroom pills. And I've seen mushroom coffee. Like, there's all these things about mushrooms. And I think they just can't hold it back anymore because there's so much, even with the magic mushrooms, that do so much healthy stuff inside of us. And because there's certain enzymes and minerals inside of them. But he was telling me that how good the mineral, like there's certain ones that improve, even if you have a brain injury, it will start healing those things and stuff. So anyways, that's a long roundabout way of telling you, I still think that would be nature giving me something back, because I keep asking for healing, and so they're giving me something back, especially for it to be mushrooms and something with my brain and my eyes, because I think that the eye thing is associated. Well, it was the brain thing that damaged my eyes, so I don't know. They've got to be linked somehow, so hopefully healing my brain. I don't know. I swear to God, I'm just rambling. I swear. I feel so out of it. I feel so weird. Even at night, I'm still feeling so weird. Like, is this really just one night? Like, I'm waking up and I'm laying there. Like, how is this just one night? Like, this seems like I've been laying here for days. Like, this is so weird. Like, everything is so freaking weird. Like, how much control is like all the time. Like, we thought we were just like living in this world that wasn't controlled. And the more you start seeing how controlled it is, and it's like, fuck, how controlled is this place? Like, is there anything that ever happened that was natural or real? Like, this is just so weird. And you know, I don't get all like bent out of shape. Like, I gotta turn on something. I feel like everything just looks weird too. Like, I can't see for shit. It's easy too to let go of this, reality when you can't see it very well. What was I gonna say? See, I'm really feel weird. I feel so weird, and that like, I'm not gonna panic about the food stuff, even when it's showing these people and all the fruit trees and the tomatoes and all the food is just being destroyed. They're killing all of the animals. Like, everything that they're doing, like, we could literally, you know, you could go out and chew on freaking bark off a tree and survive. Like, I don't think that is, I don't think we have to go that far into this, like, where we're out there in the woods trying to survive. I think things are going to flip the other direction before we get to that. And you know, it's so funny too, because I haven't watched anything with David or Juan or anything. I haven't even seen Mel K. I haven't seen anything about Charlie in so long. I haven't seen any of those people. who were so much speaking out about, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and this, and and it got to be the point, I think, for any of us who were watching, it was like, oh, okay, nothing happens. Like, we got to just quit getting into this idea something's going to happen, because it's a huge disappointment. And now I'm just wondering, like, I may have to go in and just watch an interview if anyone is talking to Juan anymore and see, like, what is he saying now? I mean, now it's been a couple years, hasn't it, of this nonsense. So, like, something's got to give. Something's got to turn it in the other direction. And it definitely, I would say, for sure, there is more and more people speaking out and being outraged. I don't know about on anything else. I can only say TikTok because it's the only social media I have. Well, Instagram, but I don't ever go on there. And it's not the same. TikTok people actually talk and show things and speak out. Even on Twitter, it seems like it's a lot more just like a little statement. TikTok people do a whole video, so you really can see how outraged people are and what they're showing and what they're talking about and why they're upset and how long they've been upset, how long they've noticed this, and who in their family notices it. Like, you get a lot more information, I think. But to me, it's such a buildup of how many more people are, that I still see it as that is the change. It is us waking up. It is our outrage. It is that will be the turning that will get things going in the other direction. And for how much it keeps building the momentum, you think, like, we got to be so close. And for how much stuff they do that's more and more outrageous, like, fucking hell. Like, kill millions of chicken. Like, that's fucking murder, dude. And 10,000 cows, 3,000 cows, like, that is fucking murder. Like, these aren't just animals. This is living beings. It just is. And I know that, we don't want to be here forever. We all want to leave at some point. I know that you can't take, I mean, it's contracted. Like, those cows even, they all knew they were going to die together like that. And it all was so that we would all be outraged and wake up and question things and try and understand what's going on in our world. And so, they all martyr themselves basically, or just come in like, oh yeah, I'll go be a cow. I'll go do this. I'll go do that. This big drama in the movie that has to occur so we all wake up. And I just think that is going to, but how many more of these things have to keep happening? Like, I wish it would just hurry up. Putin, come on. Fucking release a goddamn missile or something. Do something. Do something. So that things can change. Like, this is like, oh my God, just goes on and on and on. Another day, another tragedy, another tragedy. More fear, more fear. Like, it takes a lot. Like, I see people like me speaking out, and they'll be super focused on something. And, it can come across really, it's like they're pushing fear or something when they're trying to get people to have an awareness. And some do, like, really push on this scare. Like, we all got to be scared or something like that. But I'm seeing so many more now trying to talk about empowerment and not fear. Like, we have to do something. We have to change something to empower ourselves. We can't just live here like a bunch of little ants waiting for the next tragedy, for them to just keep, throwing water on us, throwing chemicals on us, throwing fire on us, whatever they want to do. And we all just scurry around scared. Like, what can we do? What can we do? The biggest thing we can do is all come together in unity and know our power. The more of us that awaken, the more of us that realize our power, and together how much power we have. Oh, and there's a big, I saw this indigenous woman, she shares this different stuff, and we're at this time when she's shared some really good stuff, but the elder has said that this is the time when I keep hearing this stuff, this is the time and stuff. and everything is about to change, and all of their world is about to end, and we will be starting a completely new one. But there was a reason why I was saying something about that. Oh, because on the 21st, they're going to have a huge prayer, national prayer thing. So all of us, every single person, anybody who prays or meditates or any of that stuff, that we're all going to go in and direct that. And I would say, direct it towards change, direct it towards what you want, direct it towards people opening their eyes and seeing the truth. And because all of us together, when we put our energy towards something in common like that, then it gives a lot of energy to that. Like, we are creating it. Just like yesterday when I said, all these people who always like, oh, I can't lose weight, I can't lose weight. Now, well, the earth is showing you, well, you're about to lose weight. So we create these things with our own minds, but because people are so negative and beat down, they keep creating the negative things that they don't want. They create and manifest everything that they fear and that they don't want. And when you start learning the control and how to control your thoughts, control your emotions, control your mind, and then group together with other people who have control and move the energy towards the direction that we want, because they keep using our energy. They put out this information. They get us to focus on it. They direct our energy so that we create the problems. We do it. But we are the ones who have to stop it. That's why this mass awakening has to occur. People have to see. But this awakening is so fumbly, so clumsy, and it's so stagnant. And people get stuck all over the place. Like, they wake up to something, and then that's all they want to focus on. Oh, that's it. But the whole thing is waking up to our consciousness, our abilities, to who and what we are and what we're doing here. And we're here for change. I mean, some people are here to be martyrs or whatever. Everybody has a different role. But this is the transition. This is the change. We are changing ages. And it's crazy because there's all, these people who say, like, that's devil stuff and that's not real and the ages aren't real and stuff like that. Just go look into the stuff. Like, you don't have to argue with anybody. Just do your own research and listen to your own self. If your own self tells you that there's not that, that's not what you're here about. You're here about something else. So get in touch with what your journey is, what your mission is, why you're here. But I know that this is all about this new age, and everything has to be healed from this old age, like this low vibration bullshit. And I don't look at it as like there's going to be angels standing there, checking our vibration, like it's like one of those alcohol things or something, you breathe into, see if you're drunk so you can drive. You're trying to go through the gates and the angels are like checking your vibration, like a temperature gauge or something. I think it is you carrying baggage from this reality. That's how you don't move forward. That's how you don't elevate. You're holding on to something that's low vibration. You're holding on to the past. And if you're holding on to the past, you're not done learning from it. So you still need to go through it. So don't be hard on yourself because you can't let go. Not all, just, if you get all caught up and you think like, you're not seeing this, you're not feeling this, but people are talking about it and you want to be there, but you're not feeling it, then just remember your soul is eternal. It doesn't matter if you're not in this next stage of the game, the next elevation that is going to happen. It doesn't matter because you have eternity. So if you don't feel like you're motivated for this ascension, like a lot of people are like, oh, that's my last life, I'm not doing another one, that's it for me. You have eternity. eternity. So you really think for forever and ever and ever, you're never going to go incarnate again. Like, that doesn't make very much sense. So everybody is going to always go and incarnate again. Like, you're going to go into incarnations, and you're going to go into lower vibration because you're going to challenge yourself. You're going to go in to help people. You're going to go in to help ancestors. You're going to go in and help your great, 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 great grandchildren. Like, there is no, like, you're going to leave it forever. So don't get caught up in like, oh, I'm not ascending. I'm focused on this other thing and they're focused on this. So how do I change it? Don't change. You're not supposed to change you to be somebody else. You're supposed to get in touch with yourself and focus on what you're doing. So don't get caught up in being like, well, I don't feel anything about Age of Aquarius. I don't feel anything about ascension. I feel this and that about this reality that we're in, and I need to focus on that. Then focus on that. That's what you need to focus on. That's what your soul is here to journey through and explore and understand. That's what you're here to grow. Those are your lessons. Every lesson book is very very distinct to each soul. So don't get caught up and think, oh, this is the only ascension. No, this isn't the only ascension. This is an ascension. This is what's happening right now. This is a huge expansion in the universe, and it may only be every 26,000 years, but that doesn't mean you can only ascend during an ascension. This is just a time period where a lot of people are going to ascend at once, and it's all about the elevation. But you have to let go of this stuff. You have to let go of the idea that you've got someone monitoring over you. You've got angels and devils that are sitting there trying to control you. It is a difference of looking at how energy is and what energy is, and then looking at, like, to me it just keeps being like it's like paper dolls or something. Like, you are sitting there, you're understanding things on a level where it's all in your mind. You can see it and understand it, but then you have to name it and give it little bodies or something. Like, that's the part where it's like, no, just like the same thing of coming into a three-dimensional world to exist is so that you go into like a dollhouse. So you can go in and you can see the three-dimensional structures, because you can always just play and pretend you have a dollhouse, right? You have your little dolls and you're playing and you imagine a dollhouse. That would be more of, higher dimensional thinking. It's imagination, creativity. You are creating what you imagine. But for people who, they need to go in and feel the structures, and we're all here feeling these structures. We're all here to understand ourselves in this three-dimensional plane. So, we're all the same. And and we're all of a higher vibration. Like, we are all much higher vibration than what we think we are in this place, because your higher self is out of, your higher self, you're a projection of your higher self. So you are your higher self, projected into, birthed into a form to experience a reality. But you're really a much higher vibration being. That is the part of you that is awakening to remind you of that. So it's all of this process, but it is part of the process of like, oh, look, wake up. You're in this dollhouse. You're just playing right here. You're just playing. So then you pull free and you start to ascend and move up. And that's the, like, meeting up with your higher self. It's like going in together, like union with your higher self and your avatar. So, and that stuff is all happening. That is, I think that is the most important thing that is going on. And we'll see. We'll just keep seeing how things play out. But I think the most important thing happening is the awakening, people awakening and making decisions for themselves, seeing the truth behind this reality and wanting to expand for themselves. And this changing of the ages, going into a new age, and it's going to be so different that you can't take the past into the future. You have to release the past and heal the past to move into the future. So that's what I think is happening. And these people, these beings that have been in control, that have been feeding off of us as we've been enslaved to, they don't want us to awaken. They don't want us, they want to keep things the same. They like it how it is. They like to poison us, and I don't know. They do weird shit, man. Just weird. Like, I just can't believe, like, some people do such weird things, and they just want to keep it going and going and going. Like, do they ever have, like, a part of them that awakens to guilt? Or, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But anyways, I just keep talking and talking, and who knows if I'm even saying anything. I swear to God, I feel so out of it. Like me and Stella are just in our own little weird world, just waiting for something to happen. And fighting sickness all the time. And I'll tell you another thing that's weird is I had seen another guy, and he's in Washington State, and he was talking about the dog with the cyst on his leg and how it had gotten huge really quick, like was growing so fast. And like I said, something is weird with time, and they're speeding it up. But the thing I've noticed with Stella is she's fucking starving all the time. All the time. She's always going over to her dish. And when we were in Spokane, my daughter said, man, she doesn't skip any meals. She's been eating every single meal, which is so unusual. Because every time we travel, she won't eat for days. And then she may eat once or twice the whole time. And then when we got back, she just constantly wanted to eat. So that, to me, confirms this speeding up. And I have been hungrier lately, but something with everything speeding up, and then that would make things grow faster. That would make cancers grow faster. So, and everything with time and calendars is manipulated. So if they have some sort of other thing, like things are speeding up. Things are speeding up. And I think that is going to be, more and more people getting sicker faster and dying faster. And, I don't know. I know that there's something, like if you eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and you don't gain weight, that is a sign that there's something inside of you growing fast. Like that was something like when people would come in and you would triage them and you'd ask them, when you go to the doctor and stuff, there's certain questions. They always ask you all these questions, and sometimes they've even expanded it. So like, sit there asking 100 questions. But if you are a sudden weight loss and it is unexplained, that is a sign that you have cancer or tumor growing inside of you, because your body is using so much energy to grow it. So I don't know. I don't want to give any energy to that whole thing with the needing to eat all the time. But, it's just out of my control. Everything is out of our control. And that's what we have to just realize. Everything is out of our control. And we just have to have faith and trust that we're here for a purpose. We know why we're here, and we're learning while we're here. So anyways, I'm just going to go sit and have my headache. Smoke a joint or something. I'm so sick of this fucking shit. Like, with the pain. Ugh. God, I can't believe I was feeling so good there for a while, and then it just switched so abruptly. I'm sick of this shit. It's hard to feel positive and uplifting all the time. And it just goes on and on and on. Like, Jesus Christ, this is June 2022. And that's summer now. That's a summer day. Just white sky, cold, no feeling. I bet I did see somebody who over in New Jersey, and they keep going and sitting out in the sun, and they're getting a tan. So I would think they've got some sort of normal sun over there. This thing won't give you a tan, I don't think. It's not even warm enough to go sit out in it. right now, and it doesn't come out from under the white coverage often enough to even get a suntan. But every time I've been out there, and because I've gone out and sat with shorts and sat just holding my face up to and stuff, and don't get any color. So okay, well, I'll talk to you later. Bye.